Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. First of all, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And secondly, thank you all of you for giving me reviews in private messages on the comment section on the YouTube, plus the IGTV comment section and DMs, personal messages on other social medias like Facebook and Instagram. So it's a beautiful Wednesday morning and a sunny Wednesday morning. It's 32 degree outside right now and it will go to about 36 degree today. By the weekend, it is gonna go a little hot. So make sure you're well hydrated and you are keeping yourself a little cool by staying indoors. So today, I have taken into consideration all the reviews and comments and critics that I've got, and I will try to keep my video as short as possible. And I'm gonna quickly jump on to my topic. So just to update, today was my chest and biceps workout, and I just did push-ups and one variation of biceps with the resistance band. So push-ups that I did was 500 and the resistance band bicep curl were 500. And I just completed my workout, had my protein shake, and here I am to give you a little of Wednesday wisdom on the topic work ethic. Work ethic, according to me, is doing something in which you believe and giving in all that you have to achieve the dream which is almost invisible for other people. And the best, and I would say my most favorite example of one of my most favorite bodybuilder of all time, I'm going to give his example, and his name is Jay Cutler. I believe that this guy is one of the most smartest Olympia that has ever stepped on the stage. This guy's career started in 1982 when he first stepped into the gym, not to be a bodybuilder, but just to maintain a good physique. He was inspired by one of the Olympia at that time. I don't remember his name. The guy who was Olympia in 1982, he was inspired by him, and that's the reason he stepped into the gym to make a good physique. By 1992, he entered his first competition. That is after 10 years of workout. Okay, 10 years of workout and eating right. He didn't belong to a bodybuilder family, so obviously he was not genetically gifted. But that didn't stop him from making it big. So in 1992, he competed for the first time, which was a very local competition, and he was stood second in that. In 1993, he started competing on big stage, and when he was seen by Joe Wilder, who is the founder of Olympia, and by 1996, he had won his first pro card by winning the NPC championship, and that enabled him to compete in Olympia. And he started competing in Olympia in 1999. After 3 years, he started competing in Olympia after 3 years of acquiring his first pro card. Is what up to my knowledge is. There might be some mistakes here and there, but 1996 he won his first pro card, and 1999 was his first competition where he stood 15. 2000 was his second competition where he stood 8th. 2001 was a complete shocker for the judges, for all his competitive athletes, and for the whole of audience, where he was the people's favorite to win the Mr. Olympia title, where he was competing with the best genetic that has ever stepped on the stage, Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman is considered as having the best genetic till date. He has stopped competing. It's about 10 years that he has stopped competing, but he is still the best genetic freak that has ever stepped on the Olympia stage. He stood second to Jay Cutler stood second to Ronnie Coleman, where people thought that he had completely beaten Ronnie Coleman from the front. But it is rightly said that Mr. Olympia is won from the back, not from the front, where Ronnie Coleman was completely unbeatable in his peak. 2001, Jay Cutler was again detected with banned substances, that is PEDs use, and that's the reason he was banned from 2002 Olympia, and that's the reason he could not compete in 2002 Olympia. But instead, he competed in Arnold Classic in 2002, 2003, and 2004, and won consecutively 3 times, which itself is a record till date. So that's the story of Jay Cutler. He came back to Mr. Olympia in 2003, where he stood second, 2004, where he stood second, 2005, where he stood second. But just due to his work ethic and his will to never give up, in 2006, when Ronnie Coleman was a little bit off to his peak, Jay Cutler stood up and he won Mr. Olympia title for the first time. That is in 2006. He again won the Mr. Olympia title in 2007. And he went a little off, and then there comes the Blade, Dexter Jackson in 2008, who beat him in 2008 because he was a little off. But that didn't stop Jay Cutler from working out hard. 2009 prep was the best prep of Jay Cutler he ever did. He completely abandoned himself. He completely isolated himself. He didn't attend any calls. He didn't hear any negative things. He just focused on one thing: to regain his throne, to regain his title, to regain his send-off. And 2009, he made a comeback, which is a record in Olympia history. There has been no Mr. Olympia who has made a comeback and won Mr. Olympia. He won Mr. Olympia, and 2009 was Jay Cutler's best shape. He gave a quad thumb pose, and that was supposedly the signature pose of Jay Cutler, which had hands down all the competition one-sided, and the judges could not stop themselves from giving him the first place, and he regained his title in 2009. 2010 he retained his title, and that was the fourth time when he became Mr. Olympia. In 2011 is one of the guy who was again a genetic freak, stepped on the stage again with the help of Jay Cutler, because Jay Cutler was the guy who brought in Phil Heath, and he defeated him in 2011. 2012 Jay Cutler could not compete due to a bicep injury, and 2013 when he made a comeback again, he was placed 6th, and then he decided that it's time for me to walk off the stage, because now the age factor was kicking in. So that's the reason I call him the smartest, because he knew when he had to peak, he knew when he had everything to win it, and he knew when he had to retire smartly. So 2013 is where he retired, and then he has his own chain of supplements and apparel, which he is managing right now, and he's doing an amazing business. He is one of the only Olympias after retiring from the Olympia competition, or after retiring from the competitions, he's one of the only Olympians who is in a very, very, very good shape. That's the reason I call him a very, very, very smart bodybuilder. So that was about work ethic, that you don't give up, you keep trying to reach where you want to reach. And he had a purpose. So I believe that a person who has a purpose to live a life, a person who lives a life with purpose to do something, he will always have something to look up to. He will never need an alarm clock to wake up in the morning. He will never need something to be told to him. He will never be asked to stay disciplined. He will never be asked to stay determined. He will never be asked to stay on track, because he is the person who knows his why. If you know why you are doing something, and if your why is very strong, then you don't need to be taught how it's done, because then it will automatically flow. No matter, just a small example, I like to work out very early in the morning, because it's very early, it's very peace, it's very calmful, it's very calm. There are not a lot of disturbance, there are not a lot of messages, there are not a lot of calls, there are not a lot of people talking. It's the birds chirping and the natural beauty of the environment around you, and the terrace is good. So what I do is I wake up early in the morning at any cost. Last night, for some reason, I couldn't sleep, but that didn't stop me from waking up early in the morning, the same time that I get up, 4:30, and I did my workout, and I came back. And the feeling after workout, after the endorphins are released in my body, is undescribable. So I cannot describe how good I am feeling right now, and that's a feeling of achievement, that no matter the condition, the situation of around me was not in my favor, I still woke up early in the morning and I still got the task done, because the purpose in my head is very clear. I have to work out because I like being in shape. I like being in good shape. I like seeing my muscles on the body. I like staying on the low fat percentage. So I could have skipped it today. It wouldn't have made a huge difference, but it would have still made a little of difference, which I didn't want, and that's the reason I worked out. So that's a life with purpose. life will always throw a lot of challenges at you and it will always try to break you down, but it's you who have to get up and keep moving forward, just to be ready to get knocked off again. Always be ready. Always expect the best but be prepared for the worst. That's the only way to lead a successful life, because success, I would say, is not a destination, it's a journey, and you have to enjoy the journey rather than the destination. And never be satisfied with yourself. Never say that I've given my best, because if you have given your best, you could never ever progress. There is nothing more powerful. Okay, there is nothing more powerful on this planet than a human being with purpose. Okay, so sorry, the video got stopped on its own due to low battery. So I'm not restarting it, but just gonna join this clip to the last video. So I was saying that there is nothing more powerful on this planet than a person with purpose. Trust me, purpose is gonna shake the mountains, it's gonna move the mountains, it's gonna make you unable to lift the mountains. At least it's gonna give you the confidence that you can lift the mountains. No matter you can lift it or not lift it, but you're still gonna try, and that is what is most important. If you go with everything that you have towards your goal, no matter whatever is the outcome, you will always find yourself closer than before, because you are going to be the person who's going to try again and again and again and again, and you're not going to stop till you achieve that. That's what Jay Cutler proved when he, being a non-genetic person, has beaten the most genetically dominant person in the bodybuilding era, that is Ronnie Coleman. Okay, so the person in this film, हमारे फील्ड में बहुत सारे लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि यार इसके तो जेनेटिक्स अच्छे हैं. I put my genetics to work, and that's the reason I have good genetics. Appreciate what you have. Everyone is gifted on this planet Earth. Appreciate, find what you are gifted with, and that's how you will be able to enhance your genetics. You will be able to complement your genetics. Make sure you put in the work. I am weak, if I will say. My genetics are weak from the posterior side. My back, latissimus dorsi, is weak. My calf is weak. So what do? I put in more work than the person who is genetically dominant to me in that area. And that way I can compensate. I might not be able to overcome that. I might be able to overcome that too, and might not be able to overcome, but I will still put in the work. यहाँ पे अगर 500 reps मार रहा हूँ तो वहाँ पे मैं 1000 rep मारूंगा, लेकिन I will not give up. Last but not the least, do you even know who deprives you of your purpose? Who deprives you of your goal? Who deprives you of achieving greatness? Who deprives you of success? Can you take a guess? आपको अपने गोल को हासिल करने में कौन सबसे ज्यादा अड़चन देता है? सोचिए. It's your closest ones, your friends, your family, your loved ones. Nothing against them. I am not saying that they are not good. They are the best people to be around. But you have to do what you want to do. Because if they love you, if they care for you, they will ultimately, slowly, gradually understand. But initially, they will always think that greatness is a little crazy. Greatness is always a risk. Greatness is unsafe. And that's the reason they are always going to stop you, bring speed bumps in between you and your goal. But you have to overcome that speed bumps, because that is how you're going to prove to yourself, to the great Almighty, and to your parents, to your friends, to your family, that nothing is more important to you than that ultimate goal. And if you keep moving towards that, ultimately your friends, family, the great Almighty will always respect you and push you harder to move towards that goal. But before that, you will have to push yourself and prove it to them that you deserve what you desire. And the only way to do it is work ethic. Do everything with a work ethic to achieve. Believe to achieve at any cost, and you will be unstoppable, unbeatable. The person who never gives up becomes unbeatable. I will close my video out here, and I would say that we are on the verge of lifting up the lockdown. So stay strong, stay home currently. Keep doing things that builds up your immunity, because immunity is going to be your only defense. And stay disciplined, stay determined, because you don't want to regret what happens when the lockdown is lifted. I will see you soon again with some other topic.